threading, so that's quite good. And that boot speed was around 40 seconds there, so that's not too bad, and that's fully booted. What else did I miss on the specs? Touchscreen, SSD, one USB 2 out, as we saw on the look around the device, the headset port, and that's pretty much it for specs. Yeah, for those of you that don't know the Menlo platform, it's got the Poulsbo chipset, which has the GMA 500 processor in it, GPU in it, which does in theory have some hardware decoding for video, which is, now that I've messed around with the device and installed some extra codecs, is working to an extent, but it does require a little bit of skill, a little bit of searching on the internet for the right method to do that. Out of the box, Windows XP doesn't support H.264, so that can be a problem. You have to go and get the codecs. I tend to install KM Player. I don't know about other people, but KM Player is one that I usually go for as a player. It includes a bunch of codecs as well, and then I install Cyberlink codecs over the top, and then tweak around with KM Player until it picks up the right codecs.
Yeah.
Right then. Now
Bluetooth 2.1, I guess, with a good software.
Yeah, it's got the Blue Soleil stack, and it's even got this new Blue Soleil feature called the C Phone, which means you can pair it with your phone and use it as basically as a phone headset plus. So it's using the headset profile plus the control profile.
Oh,
you could actually,
and it actually works.
I haven't tested it.
Okay.
But in theory, that software is there. So it's a nice stack anyway. I like the Blue Soleil stack. It's quite reliable and it always seems to work well. So I've just plugged in here a remote keyboard so that I can do the mouse from remotely. Save my hands getting in the way here, because I want to show you some of the software that's pre-installed. So let's zoom in.
Okay.
On the software, there's a couple of little bits of software which are worth mentioning, and also I'll show you the cool bar as well.
Yeah.
Cool. Right, let's zoom right in. This is a tiny screen, isn't it? Okay, how's that looking?
Yeah, I'll have to wait a bit.
Okay. Yeah, laggy Ustream.
Yeah.
So, well, the one bit of software that's kind of interesting is called The Pot, which you can actually pick up off the net. Whoops, losing focus there. But they've made a version for the UMID here, which links in with some of the UMID hardware. It's basically a bit of overlay software for starting up applications and players, and there's the and it's got quite a nice little user interface. It's quite responsive, and it's quite usable. The media player is integrated, although it does take a long time to import files. But you can start up the web browser, do all sorts of stuff. So you can do the brightness from here, volume, and I've got some shortcuts set up to start up applications. So, for example, Firefox, and then it puts the little touch side icon floats above everything on the right. So you just click that again, and it brings up a basic UI, and then you hit main, and you're back to where you were before. So it's actually not too bad as a starter. The only thing I don't like about it is that I don't like extra software getting in the way, especially when you've only got 512 megs of memory. So I actually turned it off. But having said that, I think it's a good bit of software and could be worth for just simple usage using that. Actually, let's just close that software off now. So quit, application quit. Okay.
Yeah. So in many of these small UMPSs there are softwares to help us to use the small screens, but actually many of us who use those devices don't really use any of those. So
yeah,
it's fun. But it might be also a selling point, so you can show off and have a nice pictures on the press releases and so on. So
yeah, that's true.
In a way, I understand it. but hardly ever use any of
What I really don't like about those softwares as well is that they only seem to last for 6 months before they stop getting any support or anything extra, and you can never rely on them to have bugs fixed or to get better, you know, over time.
Yep.
This is a shame, like Origami Experience, basically.
Yeah.
So the other software that you need to know about is this Coolbar, and you can basically, if you do function and then tap it, you get the options up. So now let's switch it to brightness, and then what I can do is wipe across and then back, across and then back. Now I'm having to press quite hard. Let's just make it a light touch. It's reasonable. Takes 2.5 swipes to get full left to right on the
So you have
brightness.
to swipe it fully to get the software up.
No. So here's
So
the
you
sound.
launch the software first.
Yeah, the software basically you switch the functionality of the bar. So it depends on
How do you launch the software? From the desktop?
Yeah, function cat bar. No, you can't
Oh.
see me doing it, can you? Sorry, let me just zoom out.
So, but yeah, but you can do the same stuff from the keyboard.
So function
Anyway, so
cat bar.
yeah,
Function
yeah.
cat bar, and then so there's also pre-programmable. So if I swipe left now, we should get the browser up. He says, let's try that. And this is what I mean about it not being totally reliable. There's no feedback, nothing happens to the pointer. Swiping right should get the media player up, but maybe I haven't. Yeah. Okay. Setup menu. Let's just try that once more. Switch it to swipe right, swipe left. Yeah. Okay, there it's fired up the Firefox after about 10 swipes, so, you know,
Yeah.
you might as well just basically be double clicking or single clicking the screen, to be honest. But
Yeah, and you have all the same shortcuts on the keyboard, right? Everything else but the application launcher. You have the brightness and
yeah. So you just saw me do the brightness there
yeah.
with the keyboard, and I can turn the volume up and down with the keyboard as well.
Yeah.
So it's kind of again like a bit like that software. It's good for demo, good for the specs, but in real terms, it's not that useful. Not that useful. Okie doke. So let's just check quickly. Let's see if there wasn't any other software on here I forgot. I think it's all there. The touchscreen driver is called TouchSide, same as on the M1. Yeah, that's pretty much it. All the other software stuff I've installed myself. So, a quick demo of the mouse pointer, I think, is in order.
Yep.
And I'm going to pull that little connection, and maybe a little bit of a typing and usability show, just for 5 minutes. So, there's the optical mouse pointer, and I'm going to start up Firefox. Let's close it down, go to the start menu, scroll up, Firefox. Once you get used to it, it's pretty fast. So I'm going to go to run, I'm going to type notepad, return. So with the keyboard, as always, getting things done is a whole lot quicker. And of course you've also got the possibility to use XP's shortcuts, and nicely on this keyboard Control and Alt are together. So if you set up Control Alt, for example, I've got B as the browser, so let's just close this one. Control Alt B, bring the browser up. There you go. I've got Control Alt M, I think, for the media player, and you can set them up as you want. So like like with your Droid JKK, you know, those keyboard shortcuts really help. Once you start getting used to them, you've also got the start button, Windows Start button as well. Gets pretty useful. So zooming around with the mouse pointer again, you might notice that I've actually changed the font sizes default font sizes on this. This is a 1024 by 600 screen, which on a default XP install on a 4.8 screen is pretty tough to see.
Yeah.
So there's a number of optimizations. Many of you will know about them, but basically switching the DPI up to 120, and I've actually changed font sizes and icon sizes to be large as well. I've done a number of changes to Windows as well to give different scroll bar sizes, different close button, and that sort of thing as well. So
Yeah.
that's a bunch of optimizations that's needed, really.
Yeah, bigger close button helps a lot, so it's good to have.
Yeah.
Also, one really important thing with Firefox is that it has the zoom, and it remembers the zoom by sight. So that's why Firefox is #1 browser with these devices. Really,
Yeah.
I don't think any other browser remembers the zoom levels by sight.
Yeah.
So